Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of a Nation Wave, and this is day 17 of the March Daily Draws. So let's see what message we get today. And I'll be taking the first card from the Tarot of the Witch's Garden, followed by an Oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch's Tarot Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. So we have the Queen of Swords here. Back to ideas and communication, development, nurturing our ideas, making sure that we've got things in place for their ideas to be made reality, and communicating the things we need to simply, concisely, matter of factly. Even this is a time to be very clear, to not bring ambiguity in our communication, and to a certain amount to be a bit more direct than usual. Don't seek to be too diplomatic. Be a bit more matter of fact about things. There's a thin line between being matter of fact and being cuttingly blunt and harsh and cold in the way you speak. And if taken to an extreme, the Queen of Swords can come across cold, unfeeling, and remarks can be cutting remarks with her sword. But the upright sword here is suggest, and I love the fact that it's pointing down to the ground. This is like earthing our communication and our ideas into the present reality of our situation. It's not up in the air, sort of imagination thinking. It's bringing the ideas down to the point of physical reality and situations in our midst. It's grounded. So the facts, the truth, the communication is to bring it down to earth. So it's plain speaking, down to earth speaking that we're doing in communicating our ideas without being rude and without being totally unfeeling. It is possible to be matter of fact, but put it over in a way that has a degree of empathy, but doesn't necessarily pull the punches, because now might not be the time to pull punches. Might be time to just state things as they are, and not to be ashamed of, this is what you think. So this is about sharing ideas, nurturing ideas, and we may have held back from that, but now's the time to nurture that authenticity within us by being true to what we think and what we say. With our words and our thoughts, to be true to ourselves, to be true to what we really hold at our center. So, welcome ideas, as she's welcoming the bird here. Let your ideas come to you, and don't apologize for your thoughts, for your, and express yourself the way that you truly want to express yourself. Be true to yourself in words and thoughts, and in action. And the Queen of Swords is more thoughtful about what she does. And she says what she means and means what she says. And she can cut through all the superfluous stuff that's not, that often surrounds speech and surrounds communication, surrounds ideas. She can cut through all the extra stuff that's not necessary and get down to the bare bones of truth of the matter, the simple truth of the matter, and that's what she focuses on. So, and maybe that's how we ought to be at this time, is just focus on the bare bones of truth of a matter. Let us, often when we hear things and when we are in communication with someone or we're listening to something, often it'll be all surrounded with all kinds of wordage and to try and sort of, like decorative language that sort of is meant to soften the blow or something. But sometimes if it's too much, the main message that you're trying to convey gets lost in all of that. And the Queen of Swords is very good at cutting all that aside and trimming it down so that it's streamlined and more effective in communication and in thought. So let's streamline our thinking and our communication and get to the point, get to that focus point of where we want to be. Okay, so let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Chicks. Little chicks. Like you get at Easter coming up. Little Easter chicks. You've got chicks here. You've got the birds flying in pattern overhead. There is no greater power than the light that lives on through acts inspired by the heart. Follow your heart in this. Be true to your heart. There's no greater power than the light that lives on through the things that you do, through acts inspired by the heart. Let your words, your actions come from a place of your heart, of what you're passionate about, of that's true to who you are, which is what I was saying, staying true to yourself. Because that's the authenticity of what you're doing, and that's what tends to live on. The one that's got you've put your heart into it, and it's got that energy behind it to sustain it. It's not empty words or actions. It's what you need to do. It's what you have to do because it's what you believe and feel within you. And that is what, the message of the Queen of Swords is saying, is that's where your motivation is, and that's what you should be focused on. Be true to that, and don't be apologetic for it. Be matter of fact, saying this is who I am, this is what I want to do, and be very clear and deliberate in conveying that. So that is the message of the cards today. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 18. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I shall see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.